Hello, everybody. With the everybody. There's nobody here yet. Look at me. Yeah. Hello, everybody. What's popping? Happy post-Independence Day. So much to talk about this week. Probably I will address three things. So all of now they listen for here now, I beg. When I remember these three things. I'll talk about the strike, the Nupeng strike, and striking in general. I want to talk about our independence and the so-called Christian genocide in Nigeria. So yeah. Let me start with the strike, I feel say most people for Nigeria now, we must open our eye to the dynamics between this our so-called ruling class and we the people. The differences and their utter disdain. Now disdain is what they use, but Nigeria now just symptom of their big manism. This disdain. Like I don't care. Their I don't careism. The I don't careism of the ruling class of Nigeria. Yeah. The I don't careism of the Nigerian big man people. Now the whole Nupeng Dangote strike business, I don't want to I don't want to go into the details, but we know the details. The workers want better pay, safe working environment. The usual things Nigerian workers agitate for. And as usual, Dangote being a representative of the ruling class, he say he no agree. He say he no agree for the Nigerian workers to have a better life. Basically, he say all the billions we ain't get is not enough to pay people money. So he threatened the workers, but the workers, they call his bluff and they unionize. And Dangote sack everybody. One of the great things about capitalist societies are how it molds the minds of the people that it oppresses. We say, if you ask every single Nigerian, do you like dictatorship? They will say no. Do you want democracy? We will say yes. But we are willing to go and work for dictators every day. Because the work environment is nothing but a dictatorship in capitalist societies. The thing we refuse to accept in our everyday life, the society has molded itself in a way that we are willing to wake up every day and for 9-10 hours of our lives, we will live under strict dictatorship. Yeah. Because that is what we submit. Now, what we submit ourselves to be that. When we say we want to go and work under capitalist institutions. And this is now one of the reasons why I continually state that we as African people must remove ourselves from capitalism. What is more dictatorial than Dangote's behavior last week? Dangote and his class and all the ruling, they know for a fact. The Illumelus or $10, all of them, waiting be anyone, waiting be Dangote calls the name, say we get BUA, all the big, all of them know that, and they know the experience, our experience. Diesel is nothing to them. They can burn generator for 24 hours. So if Pengasan strike lead to the fact say no light, they don't care. They don't care if you cannot get petrol. Most of them get depot. All of them get, not be all of them, not be most, all of them get fuel depot. They don't live the same. They don't. In fact, for Nigeria, the number one sign that you're a big man means you don't experience what the people experience. You must be removed from the daily experience of the people. And the experience of the people, now you create that experience. So. The way the people live, the way they survive, now you create our experience. The transport system, the no lights, the whatever, all this is what the experience now creator. The violence, the this. But the sign of being a big man in Nigeria is that you are always removed from the experiences of your people. That is it. Not be saying you dey develop your country. The sign of big man in Nigeria not be saying you dey do anything for your country. Or say you dey do anything at all. Many of the so-called big men in Nigeria don't even do anything at all. I say it. They call themselves, that's why I don't stop to use the elite. If I notice, I need to say Nigerian elite again. I say the ruling class. Because my mentor points something out to me. He says, Seun, you say elite all the time. In Africa, there are no elites. I say, Diallo, what do you mean? In Africa, there are no elites. Diallo says simply because elites compete at the top. To be Tyson Fury, right? If you want to be Tyson, I'll give you a good example. Jake Paul, that boxer, he makes any money any other boxer make when he fights. But Jake Paul is not considered an elite boxer. Why is Jake Paul not an elite boxer? They say because they fight with the boxers who sabi. So now old men like Tyson, he will beat. Some people will say go bribe those people to beat them. What does that sound like? It sounds like our so-called ruling class for Nigeria. They pick on the little guy, the weak guy. And when they can't even win, they'll go and use bribery. Jake Paul is the perfect example of why the Nigerian ruling class can never be called elites. And so everything they do for their life is to fake elitism that they do not even have. They are tasteless. Class when they don't sabi, they don't even have the class. Their own their style of living is the same style of fighting of that UFC guy. What be his name? That black UFC champion. Where give one guy kick for belly, back kick win. Something Jones. His last name is Jones. One not John Jones. His last name is Jones. His last name is definitely Jones. This black UFC fighter, big strong guy, the champion now, the heavyweight champion. Wait, Tom, give one guy kick for his last fight for belly. John Jones, okay. Thank you. They say what it be in fighting style. Say the way they fight look different from everybody. Say what you style in they use. He say they say she na jiu-jitsu, she na wrestling. Is this kung fu? Is it karate? Okay, what is this style? John Joe say my style is look-see-do. Black man. I say we are special everywhere. Black people are special. But I say my style is look-see-do. I look, I see, I do. Now Nigerian ruling class style of class white copycats, white elitism. When they want to be elites, since they don't remove themselves from being African, they don't know they have no originality. That's the word. All our ruling class, they are not original. You can't look at any of them and see originality. They are a cheap copy of their Western masters. A cheap copy of the Bezos, of the Gates, of the mosques. Cheap copy, you know, imitants. I mean, look, Sidu. Look, Sidu. So the way those ones oppress their workers and all those things, they think is what they need to do because that's what those ones are doing. If you look at Jeff Bezos and Amazon, Elon Musk at Tesla, they too, they go through that big clash with their union, with their workers. We want unionize, right? But where our own people are now, even the only place that they win, the only place they win, the European elites in competition, where they compete with the European elites and win, is in wickedness. In wickedness, our local champions show the people that they are copying, say, hey, for this one, for wickedness, so we better pass on now. We are better than you in wickedness. Because as bad as Jeff Bezos is, by the time, because he fought that unionization of Amazon workers. The Amazon workers went through hell in the hands of Jeff Bezos to become unionized. Jeff Bezos is so bad, the workers cannot even pee, bro. Go and check up on Amazon workers. The timing, the amount of package you must package in a minute, in an hour, in 10 minutes, everything is to the T. If you don't meet up the timing of your packaging, you don't get paid. So people cannot even pee because pissing will take off your time. Amazon truck drivers, they pee for bottle. They have their peeing equipment in the car. They can't stop and park to go and pee. So they fought to unionize against Bezos. Bezos fought that union with all his money and power. But immediately his workers won the right. They had the vote in their workplace and the workers voted. He lost the campaign. Because it was a campaign. They had to vote to choose to join the union or not. Jeff did not want them to unionize because every capitalist knows that a unionized workforce is a stronger workforce for the workers. They will feel negotiate together, strike together, demand better conditions together. Everybody will be in one voice. All these rich people like to separate and divide so they can sack you and replace and tell you. But if you are unionized, you can't just be sacking one person. You understand? You have to sack everybody. Which even Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they never did that. When they lost the campaign, because Dangote too fought this union, where workers want union. No kind of lie, where you no talk for newspaper about unions and workers. And sometimes they talk, say, workers unionizing. Nigerian press and Nigerian experts and all of you intellectuals, and they tell you now, the day Nigerian people will rise up, I keep saying this thing, these people you fight for will run away. They not go date this country. We no fit catch them. Desiani is free till today. We no fit catch ordinary Desiani. Nigeria cannot make Desiani come and answer for her crimes. Say na Dangote you won't catch. Who you won't catch? You can't catch. Which politician you won't catch? What you won't do then? You can't do them fuck up. Facts. But you know, say, you where they work for them, all of them now would be their foot soldiers. Now these people go catch. And that day you know want the form like say, you know be one kind innocent. The people will remind you, I swear. You know, tell the people they be mumu. They don't convince you and say Nigerians no get sense. They are stupid. Now only rice they want. You don't know how intelligent Nigerian people they. Now when they catch you, you go know say they know everything. They went in the, some people they say unions are the reason why Nigeria is nobody can do anything good in this country. These are so-called educated people on TV lambasting workers for unionizing. Say because they are asking for better conditions for their life. That Dangote a billionaire who if he love his country, the money we go be paying workers gone. What will he do to him? Nothing. The only thing he's doing is he wants an impoverished workforce. Finish. Because they can afford to pay better. We see the life that they live. If they can afford to be paying international party planner, if they can afford to buy all the international things expensive, Why can you not pay Nigerian workers well? Give them good conditions. Make them they die for a factory. Make them trailer drivers when they sleep for steering. Make innocent people life when they destroy. But they don't see. I'll discuss that when we enter independence. May I no jump talk. I'll tell you why they can never do that. But it will be the second part and then the third part, which is the Christian genocide. The workforce deserve everything that they've been fighting for in this case. Now they won. What did Dangote do? He sacked everybody, bro. Even Jeff Bezos did not do that. And for that one, you have shown them that you are a better capitalist. That you are a more ruthless capitalist than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk could ever be. Yes, you know sabi that one. You know sabi that one. It fire to you. And that is a message. It's not to the workers Dangote has done that. I tell you, it's not to the workers Dangote has done that. That's a signal to all Nigerians of how they see us. That's it. That's the reason he did that. It's a message, it's a class message. And that the Nigerian government, after everything where Nigeria do for Dangote to build that, did he build the refinery with his own power and might? No. Because we talk in this country as if we don't know what is going on. Not without the Nigerian people, will Dangote have that refinery? All the dollar, does Dangote have dollar in his house? Does it? I repeat, how much dollar does Dangote have in his pockets? Every money he makes is in naira. The dollar he makes is because Nigeria has crude oil. That's how he can see dollar. The dollar he needs, it is because Nigeria has crude oil. Finish. It's the people of Nigeria that help all of them in their life to do anything. And who will they shit on and piss on? The same people of Nigeria. When they give them $2 billion. No, because and when I complain, you see, this is what I say about this country. It's not as if they make all this money from the back of Nigerians, and that's why that all the ruling class are wicked. Nobody, they love nobody, they love nothing, they don't care about this country. Because if they did, let me tell you what the kind of things you'll be seeing. Dangote maternity center. Big maternity center of like 5,000 people. Elumelu pediatric hospital. Now the guys are going to see for this country be that too. BUA Cancer Research Center. That is the kind of things you'll be seeing in this country. Another big man name, any name of them. Primary schools, high schools, universities for the people. If they had in this country, so we're not going to see them all over this country. Which will be another big man where they always fall for their head name. So whatever youth center, sports center, research center in their names. Any university will not go enter. If you want to enter university, we're not going to see their names. Economics research center of blah 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 in their name. Biological research center blah blah in their name. Marine research, it will be all over the place. This emergency service, that's what they would have given to this country. How many are they see for anywhere? It is their dead Atenuje charity. Atenuje charity. Atenuje to their hungry people. 5 million. 10 million. I want to share 250 million. There's no institutionalized programs. Even the people who exploit Africa as colonialists use their wealth. Sisi roads till today has more investment in African children than any African rich man. Cecil Rhodes, a man that committed genocide, to appease his own spirit, he say he create fund. Ford Foundation, they give more money to Africa. Ford, do you know who Ford is? Henry Ford. We get this Ford motor. Go and Google this man. A bigot of the highest order. Terrible human being. Today, Africans rush to his company to seek aid, to seek money, to do things and chop. Ford is taking care of Africans more than the rich people of Africa. Cecil Rhodes is doing more for Africa than the rich people of Africa. Can you believe that? This, me, I no swear for them. The bastards, I won't talk now. Let me not curse them out. These bastards. Cecil Rhodes does more for Africans than these bastards. That's the word. Then with their influencers and celebrities, they give 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Some of them, the big one, 1 million a year. We're going to be dancing in front of them, hailing them for nothing that they have done, calling them good people, and all of you. So that's why, at least for that Fina case, I lean back. I don't talk anything. Yes, let me see the good people. These people, let me see. Because I know they will show you. And when they don't talk about that girl, when it was time to do the right thing for her, say she don't even love her sister, she don't do this one, she don't do this one. Nothing they didn't say about that girl suddenly. The same thing they are saying about the workers. Press turn. In one day, everything turn around. That is the mindset of this our ruling class. Elites must compete at the top. If they cannot compete with Elon Musk, if they cannot compete with Jeff Bezos, then you cannot call them, they not be elites. They are the ruling class. That is what they are. Ruling class. Now to the Pengasan workers, Nupeng, all of them now, we be unionized workers for Nigeria. All the ASU, when will your fight go past your belly? This is what me I must put to the Nigerian workers that I don't understand about you. Where is your spirit of solidarity? When you go stop to the look just belly? You are the parents of the children that are not being educated. I say within this country, ASU day on 9-month strike. All other unions were going to work. ASU is in charge of their children. Their children were not going to school. Nigerian workers were going to work. I knew there's a disconnect. Even the ASU, what was ASU striking for? Their belly. We want more money, more allowance, more comfort, more this one, more that one. Now their belly. Is ASU fighting for student welfare? Is ASU fighting to remove cultism from universities? Is ASU fighting for upgraded libraries, research centers? Is ASU fighting to be able to create a good educational environment for Nigerian children to prosper? Is ASU they fight for those things when they happen for our universities where our children need? ASU they fight for better hostels for the children to live in for campus? Is ASU fighting for the light, water, social amenities where they need? Is ASU they fight for the sports programs for our university today improve? Never. They read their demands. I never see anything about them doing a better job, about giving them the tools to do a better job. I read ASU strike. ASU want to chop. I read Pengasan strike. Pengasan strike is not be say the road for Nigeria where their workers they drive on is not good. That those roads alone they cause their workers to die. I don't see that one. I don't see say They want educational programs to improve the literacy of their drivers. Make them improve education for Nigeria. You know, they are not fighting for housing. All these things that Nigerian workers will fight for them. If these things don't stay inside the demand of the Nigerian workers, how do you build solidarity with the people? For this stage where on a day as Nigerian workers, you cannot be negotiating like European workers. Because remember, they go look European workers' demands. Then tell that is the appropriate demand. That is not, if the pie, how the Nigeria gain in the, okay, no, so we are getting the man no jump. Because we are coming to independence. Yes, what is this independence? What is this independence? That's what we are coming to. If the workers that came before you only fought, if the Enugu coal miners, the Nigerian railway workers only fought for cola, because now waiting start our independence, cost of living allowance, cola. That's why Nigerian police that time, when we smell, I remember bribery was called cola. Now don't forget they call bribery cola. Now we call Eguje, you know, Rabba, you know, but the original name na cola. That cola comes from COLA, when Nigerian workers first fight for cost of living allowance. Say we cannot live on what you are giving us. But those days, our fathers and grandfathers were more revolutionary than we are. Why? Because they could see the oppression a day under colonialism. The oppression was clear. Now, because of the fight where they don't fight, the victories that they have won, now you don't see the things that they have seen. So you don't know where you are. But they knew. Their fight was not about their stomach alone. They said, we want better education for our children. We want security for our women. In fact, we want freedom for our country. Now they can learn. We want what? Freedom for our country. How come the Nigerian worker of today doesn't have that spirit to demand freedom for his country? Imagine what will happen for this country if all the unions we have decide one day, say we want to go on 1 week warning strike. This Nigeria, we don't like it. All workers under all unions, we are announcing 1 week warning strike to let you people know we want better housing, we want water, we want light. And if after that 1 week we stop, we are not going to show us in the next 1 month the concrete programs we want to start now to bring these things into Nigeria, we are heading on indefinite strike. Una think say una go fight that fight. Una think say one big man can now wake up after you announce such a move and say sack everybody. Nigeria will go that place where it is saying get to turn them upside down for them. But because you are too selfish. Yes, nobody will tell you. I'm going to back of NLC. I don't say everybody in Nigerian Labour Congress before now become Peter Obi lapdog. Before now become Peter Obi boy. When you are still Nigerian Labour Congress tied to Labour Party. Now remember my own last meeting with you now. And what I tell you now. And what can happen after that, which is NSAS. Yes, now remember that day. Anybody ready that hall? Remember the kind of thunder we start to the strike for outside when I begin to tell you now about yourselves. Yes. And I still stand on that. And I still stand on that. You have lost your way. That's why only one big man can think he will bully a Nigerian union. Imagine where we are falling to in Nigeria. That could not happen 15 years ago. NLC could not march everywhere down, but it's Tarahidanu. You have sold yourself, you have sold your soul. But there's still a way back. There's still a way back. Rediscover your spirit. Rediscover your identity. Reattain your power. The leaders of the unions. Become leaders of the people. Without the Nigerian worker, there can be no liberation for the Nigerian people. If you continue to sell yourself for your stomach only, if you think only of stomach, then you continue to go around in the same circle you have been going around for the past 15, 20 years now. Because I believe maybe we not going to want make the workers dey okay. Maybe not only they fight this fight, as Dangote says, so you can call all of you to corner and start finding all of you something. And then you say that what he's doing is okay again after that. Because now Nigerian workers now start the independence for Nigeria. So I move into Nigerian independence. Because without the workers of Nigeria, how are we independent? Without Pa Mike Imodu, how is Nigeria an independent country? And I go through my whole educational system. I never hear his name. Social studies for 12 years. From primary 1 to SS3. Now I do social studies. And nobody tell us about Pa Imodu. They tell us about Obafemi Awolowo. They tell you about Nnamdi Azikiwe and Tafawa Balewa. Lapdogs of imperialism. Oyibo boy then. Why did they bring those people to the front? Because they did not want what happened in other parts of Africa to happen in Nigeria. They don't want workers' independence. A people's-led independence. Even when the people start the fight, they bring their boys to hijack the spirit of the movement and hand it over to their boys. We have never been independent. The people, the workers of Nigeria, independence was stolen to give an independence to only the ruling class. The independence we have in Nigeria is independence for the ruling class to act. Before, they were not allowed to act. Why? How did they lose power to act? Not only are they a fake ruling class, a treacherous ruling class. Because these are the people who betray Africa. These are the descendants of the betrayers of Africa. That betray the real elites of Africa. That work with Europeans to bring Africa down. The descendants of slave traders and their agents. Now then they rule the whole of Africa. What is a military man in Africa if he's not a descendant of a slaver? It might not be physical descendant, but it's a spiritual descendant. Because that is the work of the soldier man in Africa under the Oyibo man. To enforce the slavery of African people. What will be the name of Oyibo man business partner and the agents, if not enablers of the enslaving of Africa? The independence we have in Nigeria is an agreement between these two forces. The enablers of slavery and the slavers to come together and create this yeye country. This is so. Finish. They hijack the true spirit of the people. They sideline the people. And that is the underground battle that has always been going on in this country and in Africa. The fight between the people reclaiming their humanity and this ruling class we have all over Africa that have sold our humanity for only they to be humans. Finish. That's why when you go to hear for society, some people go to say, Nigeria can never better. You know what he mean when somebody say, Nigeria can never better? He's saying, these are animals. Finish. Only animals cannot run a country. Our ruling class and their agents are those Africans that have accepted with Europeans that we are animals. And you go to, I say that's their code word. Their code word, the code word for the imperialized mind, for the so-called civilized mind, is Nigeria can never better. Because they know, say, they being in charge will only create this animal instinct to remove us from our humanity. Not remove us, to deny us our humanity. So the independence, this independence is an independence of the ruling class. Why our ruling class? You ask, what do you mean, independence of the ruling class? If they were working with Oyibo and they were okay, why do they need independence? Because they too were subjugated. Foolish people. Their ancestors weakened us to the extent by trusting Oyibo. They think say Oyibo na their friend. And they tell you, okay, they teach us about Jaja of Opobo. So always use Jaja of Opobo as reference. A man that was used to usurp power from the traditional power structure. Because Oyibo knows they don't fit defeat that traditional power structure. They used Jaja of Opobo, brought him up to fight his own people, destroy his own people. In fact, Jaja of Opobo assisted the British. Without Jaja of Opobo, the British would never have conquered the Ashanti people. Now, Jaja of Opobo give them the warriors, the African warriors. We know that, we know those people and the fighting style and that area. You know, they for that coastal area. In fact, when he helped the Queen, when he helped British to defeat the Ashanti people, the Queen sent him a special sword. When he said they take the show off, say, the Queen give me sword, me too. Hey. That is all they want in life. That only Jaja was a slave, a man whose humanity was removed. Oyibo come and say, listen, take humanity on one condition. You are the only human. We want to give you humanity, but you must, before we give it to you, you go accept with us. Say now only you be human being. All your people are still animals. Do you agree? And all of them say yes. So they think that we are animals. Say Oyibo, don't they be human being with Oyibo? Oyibo not human being. Then when they be like Oyibo, they be human being. But the rest of us that can never be like Oyibo, because being like Oyibo is economics. Frank Fanon explains that in Black Skin, White Masks. Whiteness is economics. Whiteness is economics. With money as an African man, you can access whiteness. Yeah. You can enter the white wall. Even though you know at the back of your mind that you are not white. You are one step down. But, oh, man. So they tell you, we will give you what you need to access our world. You must agree, though, that all your brothers and sisters can never access it. And they say yes. They agree. They agree. But what ended Jaja of Opobo? How did they end him? Back as a slave. And that now the destiny of all these traitors when they destroy Africa today. Not learning from the people like Jaja, thinking that they now, these new ones, these new sets, they think that they can betray us and Oyibo will elevate them forever. The day they will betray them back again like they did for Jaja. It's coming. It's coming. So Jaja, understanding that his own concept now, our elites needed their independence because after selling their people to Oyibo, thinking say Oyibo no go turn back on them. When the white man saw by the 19th century, by 1845, between 1845 and 1865, that they have weakened the Africans enough to take power from them, the white man struck and took power from our elite, our ruling class. These they are fake people they put for the Jajas of Africa. Oyibo just come, take power from them and subjugated them too under colonialism. The positions that they have always held, Oyibo can't hold down, can't demote them down. They never saw a way up. They now, because they know they have betrayed their people for centuries. After 200 years of betraying your people, the people no send them. The people no like them. So them, they don't guys stay the level where Oyibo put them. One they lost iwaju, one they lost ẹ̀yìn. Our ruling class was in limbo. I'm giving you short summary of our independence struggle. I'm giving you what I would call spiritual summary. This is a spiritual summary. Just so you understand the minds, the larger picture of the game. Of what, by and large, everywhere in Africa, this is what happened. Our ruling class, due to 200 years of betrayal of their own people, during colonialism, Oyibo betrayed them, took their power. demote their children, them and their children, to servants of Oyibo system. So their children were forced to enter army, work in the civil service, you know, to appease them. That's why you call the beginning of the year now, those days, Nigeria. So their children are started becoming first lawyer, first doctor, you know, first woman to drive a motor car. He touched me, he said, for my family. Yes, my grandfather was a fucking colonialist. His great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, same thing. And I'm happy my family commit class suicide to break away the chain, because that is the right thing to do. Yes, my papa self talking for Kolo mentality. Go hear Kolo mentality. Mr. Ransom make you hear, he call his name, because he know the part his ancestors played. Yeah. We remove ourselves from the ransom game. We are Anikulapo now. We are back with our people. Do your worst. Do your worst. We are back with our people. To appease their children, give them different posts in the civil service. First accountant general, first Nigerian army man, first Nigerian general, first Nigerian this one. Hey. The way we are, the first we are still chasing. You understand? At that time it starts. But suddenly the Nigerian people stood up. Due to the way this civil service occupied, the civil service was occupied by our elites, and the government, the royal government, by white people. Due to their wickedness again on the people together working. I say, there's a reason they don't teach us about colonialism in detail. Any African man will not take in time, go and study our life under colonialism and continue to say, you go through, but you don't know what your fathers went through. You don't know the humiliation that colonialism means. You don't understand. You don't understand. If only you could go, just take your time to study life under colonial, the dehumanizing, the pissing in people's face, open people's mouth, shit inside. What you even know do us and all these big black people? You are an animal to them. No, that's whip. They go whip people to death. Call one of those. These people will come become Nigerian army. All these will become army. When they come turn to Nigerian army. That's why they were not Nigerian army. They were Queen's Guard. Before they were West African Frontier Force, Hausa boys, Glover boys, different name. But their original name is slave catcher. They were the slave catchers. During colonialism, they become police and army. These people will flog an African man to death to appease a white man. Civil servants will go and destroy a whole village to appease white people. This was our experience. Then the workers that they were punishing, all these people stood up, organized themselves. Oyibo can say the game is up. Now this ruling class will not know whether to go front or go back. Since 1861, where Oyibo don't slap for their face, collect all their power. Now saw a way back to their old position of power over their people. They can't go meet Oyibo say, hey, they don't shout to. If you don't put us, they will remove everybody. That's all that happened. Oyibo now handed to them to give them their own independence with the same agreement they give Jaja. Only una be human being. The rest of una brothers and sisters are still what? Animals. That is the reason why for Nigeria, nothing they hate pass than to see a Nigerian man try to act human, to be a human being. How dare you act like a human being? Say you see truth, you talk calm. That's a human behavior, bro. that you are interested in building your nation, that you can think and you can imagine. Only them and their children deserve freedom. Africans can never be free. Nigeria can never better. That's the code. These animals can never get. So once you don't digest that kind of mindset, when you don't program your mind where they are thinking, Nigeria can never better. That's why all their children are what? Americans, British. Why anybody go born pikin wey no go ever better? What kind of a man lives in a country and he believes his country no go ever better? That means you believe, say, you yourself, you can never do anything good. So nothing good. And now so they run the country, this ruling class. They run our country based on, say, they are the only humans. And why are they human? Because Oyibo says so. Not because they have imagined what humanity is. Not because they have imagined what it is to be a human being. Not because they are thinking of humanity. Never. But just because Oyibo says so. Because they can enter where Oyibo can enter. They can do anything Oyibo can do. They can buy anything Oyibo can buy. They can speak Oyibo language. They have Oyibo passport. Based on these things, they believe. And Oyibo has a guarantee there. So for them, elitism for them is never about competing with the world. Competing with the so-called elites of the world. That is not their concept. Their concept of elitism is to be better than their brothers. Never to drop to the level of the common African. Never to have an African experience. The less African experiences you have, the more human you have. That is their thinking. So for all this ruling class in Nigeria, the independence that they have is to maintain their position. Because that is the only independence. We the people we never get our own independence. And that is what we are bringing to the fore. It is through the solidarity of the workers, the power that because they cannot run this charade by themselves. You workers are the ones helping them keep this thing going. Because no matter how all of them make noise as workers of Nigeria, you have not grasped your destiny. On yourself, you are just oppressors in waiting. You want to be wicked to us the way they are wicked to us until they pick you to join them. Finish. That's the game. That's why I don't believe in anybody's fucking strike anymore. Because I read the demands of your strike. Now your belly. Now your belly, only your belly. They are not paying you well enough to wicked us. Imagine this kind of strike. This is the strike that happens in Nigeria. When lecturers strike, they are striking that government is not paying them well enough to molest girls in the university and take money for bribe and to collect bribe for grades. To be cultists. That government is not paying because lecturers are cultists. So when they are striking, they say, you are not paying us enough to be collecting bribe from students. You are not paying us enough to be raping girls in our office. When Pengasa, all of you strike, what are you striking for? They're not paying you well enough to use your truck to jam all innocent people and kill them. They're not paying you well for that, Abi? That's what they're not paying you well for. To keep workers on the road for 10 hours. So we the people must fight for our independence. the ruling class have their independence. When they see what they take their independence, they do. When shall we, as Nigerian people, demand our own independence? To free ourselves from these unimaginative minds. These people, they cannot think. Anyway, to the last topic of the day, which is the so-called Christian genocide in Nigeria. This is Israel propaganda. I mean, if by now you don't know how wicked this so-called Israel country is, you don't know where to start this, you don't know what this thing there about. Let me tell you what this whole Christian genocide story in Nigeria starts. Right now, they say Jews are killing Muslims. Bill Maher and his Israel Jewish crew went to find one stupid Nigerian man with Israel flag. I don't forget the pro conference. I need to find this conference where they hold. This Nigerian man can't go there. Very dark man post part of the man. But he didn't post the full. I'm going to call him to tell him that that man is the one that started this propaganda. They started it as response that, oh, Muslims are killing Nigerians, are killing Christians in Nigeria. So is that why the genocide in Gaza is fine? I don't understand. The Americans, who are the supporters of Israel committing genocide, right, are trying to bring their government to say that they are trying to justify their government support of the killing of Muslims in Gaza by saying Muslims are killing Christians in Nigeria. That the killing of the Muslims in Gaza is not the only genocide. So in a way, that's how they say America is trying to revenge. Is what it concern Gaza with Nigeria. What it concern Gaza with Nigeria. What kind of stupid ass shit is this? And this is where you know that the elders of Nigeria, they are failing. Our president had to come and address it in Independence Day speech. This, so show you, if to say the elders of this country have educated Nigerians well, if the ruling class of Nigeria were not using religion as political device, will this kind of statement make sense to anybody? Anyway, we for Nigeria, we don't get sense past our ruling class. We might not have money like them, but our imagination is stronger than their imagination. And we will not fall for any CIA propaganda to bring violence to our country. The only people killing Nigerians in bulk are the same people that have been killing us here for 500 years. And I will tell you, it is Europeans and their local agents. Europeans and their local agents. These two group of people, the African ruling class and the European capitalists, have been the ones killing Africans for over 400 years, almost 500 years now. You are the people killing us. The only genocide going on in Africa is a genocide of poor African people. Is an econocide. Once you fall lower than a certain level of income in Africa, your life becomes worthless. And anybody can go to where you are and use you for any kind of rubbish. How many people did Pfizer, a world-renowned company, how many people have Pfizer killed in Nigeria? Can we count the amount of bodies Pfizer have killed in Africa as a whole? With fake experiments coming to Africa to treat us like guinea pigs, and this our government will allow them, watch them do it. Is that not the plan? That poor African people are disposable? Now, young African people, if you don't know what is happening in your country, and you believe there's farmer headsmen violence, they failed you. It's not your fault. Because when you open TV, you see people that should know better, professors, analysts, economists, PhD holders, the ruling class of this country will be on TV spewing baby propaganda to you to confuse your brain and protect their interest. We live in a world today where there's geothermal technology. People don't even have to come to your land to know what is under your soil. I repeat, people don't have to come to your land to know what is under your soil. From space now, even from space, they can know certain things under the ground in certain areas. What is happening in Nigeria is nothing but genocide of poor people to claim their land. The same thing that they have been doing for 400 years. It's to say our elders for Africa, no, they fail us as African people. Everything happening here will not be surprising to us. It will follow the same pattern that they have used for. They don't even have to change tactics. That's how invest papers be that. These people don't even have to change tactics in how they operate in our land. Within their ruling class cohorts and agents. Our so-called politicians and bankers and big men who are nothing but the agents of our enemies. So they all are happy to lie, to make us each other's enemies. So you see the enemy as yourself. Because they tell you it's just one stupid headsman just willingly coming to destroy everybody's farm. Headsman just want to destroy everybody's farm and kill them for no reason. I also want to steal Yoruba people's land. Preposterous, stupid reason. To what end? What will the Hausa people do with all the Yoruba people that are here? They want to come and kill all of us, Abi? Hausa will never feed all the people waiting for their land. They want to come and carry new people to do what? To do what? What is happening here is nothing but the same land grab that has been happening. Resource theft. I can guarantee you, with everything I have in my life, apart from my child, that anywhere that there's crisis in this country is because people have found something under the land of those poor people. Something those poor people do not even know that they have. And they don't want to negotiate with them. They don't come and tell them, listen, there's something under this your land that is very valuable. Let's give you so and so billions. So can. They don't want to do that. They rather pay 10 million to one stupid Nigerian ruling class so he can buy his Rolls Royce and build his houses and chase his women. They rather give him $10 million instead of going to negotiate the billions with Nigeria and Nigerians for what is there. You give him 10 million, it will betray all his society and community. Arm his thugs. This is the way they've been doing it. Arm his thugs. Give them some stupid chants to be chanting and rain terror on people to chase them from their land. To chase them from their land so they can steal the wealth that is under that land. And if it's not under, it is the land itself. They have seen that the soil is very good for growing things, growing something that they need. And they want to turn all that place to a farm to grow that thing. How do you move the people away from their land? My brother and sister, there's no such thing as headsman crisis. There's no such thing as bandit crisis. There's only the war against the poor. Finish. The theft of resources. That is all that is going on in this country. War against poor people to steal their resources. Finish. It has been going on for 400 years. But everybody is on social media. It's only in Nigeria. It's only not only in Nigeria. Only in the black world. Both in Africa and the diaspora. It's only in the black world. People that have not done any kind of research, have not spent their time to learn anything, will come and control the mind of millions of Africans because they are willing to give you simple solution. They are willing to give you clues. They are willing to point to your preferred enemy. That is the Sweetest one. They know so they don't program your mind to hate poor people. I'm telling you that is why we find it so easy to kill ourselves. That is why you see they say one old woman fall from sky in a bed turn to human being. Your brain no say bed no fit turn to human being. Your brain knows, but that hatred of the poor that is in your soul that they've been telling you in church every Sunday, you don't know it is that powerful in you. Saying that one principality they cause your problem. You can't see an excuse now to unleash on this principality a poor woman that has never done anything to you. That programming go kick in, go ignite straight before you know that don't kill that woman. Because you have been pre-programmed. Your mind has already been conditioned, ready for that. But you know. Say they don't program you. You don't know the amount of the way you hate poverty is how you hate poor people. They don't program our mind. We are ready to go against the hate, against the poor. Even though we know for a fact that our problem now rich people. We know, just the way we know a woman can never turn into a bed. We know say that old woman never, just the way we know that and we still go ahead and kill that woman. Is the way we know that our problem is not poor people, but the rich people. But we rather fight and kill the poor. That's the programming. Now, when they don't let us down be that. And those of us who don't break out of the programming, and instead of using our advantage, like many of our brothers will use it against you, we want to use it for you. Open your eye to the programming. Remove yourself from the programming. So how can they like me? They must immediately tell you I'm crazy, I'm this, I'm that. I'm working for this one, I'm working for that one. I'm doing this one, I'm doing that one. Because they're afraid of when you will break that programming. So that based on that power of that programming, make them bring this Christian genocide story. Because we all know it's a lie. But they know that regardless of what we know about their programming is stronger. And if care is not taken, this story, regardless of what we know as Nigerians, go blow past like this. If care is not taken. If care is not taken, what we know will not be able to stop the acts that we will carry out. Just the way how we know this woman is not a bed did not stop her dying. Do you understand? That is what they rely on. Don't let that programming lead you astray. We know headsmen don't have guns. Yet we say it's headsmen. They know what their programming can do. You understand? That's why you must break away from that programming. You must break away from that programming. We must not let it have power over us anymore. Thank you very much for joining today's live. Big things, very big things are happening with MOP. INEC we don't move forward with INEC. And yeah, I'm going to make a very big announcement very soon of our regional plans, our national plans, our regional plans, our state plans, and our local plans. Organizing is possible. Nigeria can be better. It just needs the talent of its people. Finish. And a government willing to tie talent to development. That's all. That's all. A government that will not give Dangote $2 billion while their universities are on strike, while children don't have blackboard, bailing out banks with billions of dollars after the big men of those banks steal all the money in the bank, and nobody will still go to jail. But Nigerian people will pay for the crimes of these people. Yet, there are children in Nigeria that cannot guarantee themselves a meal that day. The independence of the ruling class, their selfishness of keeping the independence as their own alone, is going to be their downfall. Because we must demand our own true independence. People say the Africa is not independent. They gave us independence, but only independence for the ruling class. You understand? So this ruling class with the Europeans, their job is to keep us colonized. That's the real neocolonialism. Thank you very much for joining the live today. As we continue to walk towards our liberation,